Alex Cardinale. Entertainment all day. Click, dive deep. Color on the screen runs free. Tropical fins, bright reef. Whole ocean.
I'm Alex Cardinale, and I personally would like to welcome you to this presentation of the Alex Cardinale Entertainment YouTube channel. I hope you enjoy this special live stream right here on A.C.E.
Every Saturday we do our thing. Alex Cardinale Entertainment. Hit subscribe and stay a minute. If you're laughing or you're on the edge, we got it all. You're watching A.C.E.
Welcome to Talkin Carp, the ultimate koi and goldfish show where aquatic wonders come to life. Hosted by the passionate Aqua Alex, who has discovered a newfound love and respect for these magnificent creatures. This show is your go-to destination for all things koi and goldfish. With a koi pond of his own, Aqua Alex brings first-hand experience and expert advice to help your pond thrive. Dive into the world of koi and goldfish as we explore diverse species, master the art of care and maintenance, and uncover tips that will transform your aquatic haven into a flourishing paradise. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to stay connected with our vibrant community. Let's get talking carp and make a splash. Please welcome your host, Aqua Alex.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to an all-new episode of Talking Carp. I'm your host, Aqua Alex Cardinale, and tonight on the Ultimate Koi and Goldfish Show, we're going to talk about Japanese and domestic koi. We're going to talk about the differences between Japanese and domestic koi, the pros and cons of owning Japanese and domestic koi, and more. Plus, I have two sets of pond tips for you. I'm going to tell you why having aeration on your pond is crucial, and then I'm going to talk about koi keeping in tropical climates and koi keeping in seasonal climates. I have a pond update of my own and a whole lot more. So we have an action-packed episode of Talking Carp coming your way this evening. I can't wait to have some fun with you, and I can't wait to educate you all on Japanese and domestic koi starting right now. Shout out to my friend Jeff, who's in the chat. Hey Jeff, how are you? Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy the show. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get this episode started. And we're going to start by talking about my first set of pond tips. So my first pond tip for you on this episode is going to be covering why aeration is extremely important in a pond. Just like in an aquarium, having aeration is extremely important in a pond, maybe even more important in a pond. So aeration is crucial because it introduces dissolved oxygen and circulates the water column, preventing stagnation and maintaining a healthy aquatic ecosystem. Without it, ponds suffer from toxic gas buildup, algae blooms, and severe fish kills. Key benefits of pond aeration: it prevents fish suffocation. It supplies a consistent dissolved oxygen, preventing catastrophic fish kills from sudden oxygen depletion or weather-induced pond turnovers. It accelerates muck decomposition, boosts the population of beneficial aerobic bacteria, which rapidly consume organic waste, leaves, and fish debris at the bottom of the pond, controls algae and weed growth. It converts excess phosphorus and nitrogen into forms unusable by algae, starving blooms of their primary food source. It eliminates foul odors. It moves water to release trapped hydrogen sulfide and methane gases, eliminating the rotten egg smell associated with stagnant water. It also disrupts mosquito breeding. It creates ripples and surface movement that prevent mosquitoes from successfully laying eggs on still water. It also prevents thermal stratification, blends the warm, oxygen-rich surface layer with cold, oxygen-depleted bottom layer to unlock the entire pond as a usable fish habitat. And aeration protects fish in winter. It keeps a hole open in surface ice to let toxic gases escape and allow life-saving sunlight to reach the water. And that is why aeration is extremely important in ponds. Now, you can use aeration through a plethora of methods. You can get a waterfall, which I think is the most beautiful way to add aeration to your pond. You can add an aerator, you can add a pump, you can add a wave maker, or even on some smaller ponds, you can do hang on the back filters for aeration. But it is extremely important to get aeration into your pond because aeration is going to add dissolved oxygen, which is going to save your fish from dying. Because trust me, I learned that. I lost some fish from having not as much aeration as I should have had in my pond. All right, let's check the live comments. I see we have 2 live comments already. All right, so Fish Fam is in the house. Hey, Fish Fam, how are you? I hope you're doing well. Thank you, Fish Fam, for tuning in as always. All right, so now it is time for our first featured koi of the evening. And our first featured koi of the evening is going to be one of my all-time favorites. It is a Tancho, and it's also a Showa. So my 2 favorite koi combined in one. Let's learn about the Tancho Showa right now. Let's see, where is it?
The Tancho Showa is a highly prized variety of koi fish characterized by a solid red spot on its head, paired with a distinct wrapping black, sumi, and white, shiroji pattern across its body. It represents a striking, rare mutation of the traditional Showa Senshoku class. It is named after the Japanese red-crowned crane, Tancho, a deeply revered symbol of longevity, luck, and fidelity. The Tancho mark must be a solid, deep crimson spot confined entirely to the head, between the eyes. It should be perfectly symmetrical, and ideally circular, though oval or heart shapes are sometimes acceptable. No other red he can appear anywhere else on the body. The sumi, black pixels. Unlike other Tancho varieties, the black on a Tancho Showa must wrap completely around the fish, extending beneath the lateral line. High-quality specimens feature prominent black markings on the nose or head that intersect the red spot, creating a dramatic, heavy contrast. The shiroji, white background. The white skin must serve as a bright, clean, and snow-white canvas. Any yellowish tint heavily diminishes the fish's aesthetic value. Motoguro, pectoral fin pattern. True Showa genetics require a thick patch of black pigmentation at the base of the pectoral fins, where they attach to the body. Tancho Showa versus other Tancho varieties. Tancho Showa, deep red spot, heavy wrapping black, Sumi, over white, black patch at base, Modoguro. Tancho Sanke, deep red spot, small stepping stone black spots on white, striped black lines. Tancho Kohaku, deep red spot, pure unblemished solid white, completely clear white. Breeding a high-quality Tancho Showa is exceptionally difficult, making them rare and expensive. They cannot be reliably bred by pairing two Tancho parents. Instead, they occur as accidental, beautiful genetic anomalies in standard Showa spawns. Furthermore, their black patterns continually morph and shift as the koi ages, transitions between seasons, or experiences changes in water temperature and water chemistry. A perfect juvenile circle can easily distort or fade into a blurred pattern.
All right, and that is the Tancho Showa, our first featured koi of the evening. Coming up a little bit later on tonight, we have another koi that we're going to feature. It is a really unique, unorthodox koi that has a name that I have a hard time pronouncing, so I'm not even going to try, but it's a very, very cool koi nonetheless. But right now, we're going to talk about our main topic for this episode, Japanese koi versus domestic koi. What are the differences between Japanese koi and domestic koi? That is a question I see a lot on all the koi groups I'm a part of, and I always got asked that question a lot when I talked about koi at the store that I used to work at. So, what are Japanese koi and what are domestic koi? That's what we're going to talk about right now. So, Japanese koi, scientifically known as nishigoi, literally broad-capped carp, are selectively bred, highly colorful ornamental varieties of the Amur carp. Originating as a food source in Nagata, Japan during the 19th century, farmers noticed natural color mutations and began intentionally breeding them for their striking patterns. Today, they are celebrated globally as living art and symbols of good fortune, perseverance, and abundance. While there are over 100 distinct varieties of koi categorized by colors, scale types, and patterns, the hobby centers around the Go-Sanke class, the three most prestigious and popular varieties. Kuhaku, the most iconic variety, featuring a solid snow white body overlaid with distinct patterns of deep red. Sanke, a three-colored koi, tricolored koi, with a solid white body base layered with large patterns of red and accented by stepping stone spots of solid black. Sumi. And Showa is a three-colored koi that is genetically black. It features wrapping blocks of black paint that cross the lateral line, contrasted with blocks of red and white patterns. So Go-Sanke are the most popular koi from Japan, but there are other popular types as well as the Atsuri and some of the others we're going to talk about in a bit later on in the show. So also, I think the Sanke has 4 types. You should include the Tancho in there as well. All right, key physical traits and classifications. Standard versus butterfly. Traditional Japanese koi have standard compact fins. Butterfly koi, which are developed by crossing standard fin with long-finned Asian carp, feature long, flowing, dramatic fins. Datsu, scaleless, koi that lack scales entirely or have large mirror-like scales running strictly along the dorsal line and lateral lines. This genetic trait was introduced from German carp lines. Jinrin, metallic sparkling, fish with light-reflecting diamond-like glittering scales that sparkle in the sunlight, creating a high-gloss finish. Why they differ from standard pond fish. Unlike standard goldfish or cheap domestic carp, authentic Japanese koi are bred to grow extraordinarily large, reaching up to 36 inches in length, and can easily live between 25 to 50 plus years with proper filtration. Because they are judged from above while swimming in a pond, Japanese breeders intentionally select patterns that offer maximum contrast and sharp, well-defined color borders when viewed from overhead. High-grade specimens from reputable bloodlines can fetch anywhere from hundreds to hundreds of thousands of dollars at competitive auctions. So that, in a nutshell, is what Japanese koi are. And now we're going to talk about what are domestic koi. So we're going to switch the tables now, and now we're going to talk about domestic koi. What exactly are domestic koi? Well, in a nutshell, domestic koi are koi that are born outside of Japan. These are koi that can be born here in the United States, in Europe, in Malaysia, Thailand, koi that are born and raised outside of Japan that are shipped in whatever country they are born in. So there's plenty of places that sell domestic koi only because domestic koi are bred locally. They're much more affordable for fish stores and hobbyists. That is why a majority of koi places, 99.9% of them, will have mostly domestic koi with a few real Japanese varieties. But some of the Japanese varieties can be pretty costly, which is why some koi places shy away from bringing them in. But I always support the businesses that do offer the Japanese koi, because I personally prefer the Japanese koi over the domestic, but some domestics are nice. So domestic koi are ornamental koi fish that are bred and raised outside of Japan, typically within the local country of purchase, such as the United States of America. While they share the exact same wild ancestor, the Amar carp, as Japanese Nishigukai, domestic koi are bred using different production goals, standards, and environments. They are the standard affordable fish found in local pet shops, garden centers, and backyard water features. Key distinctions of domestic koi: affordable pricing, because they do not require international air shipping, customs clearance, or strict biosecurity quarantine fees. They are significantly less expensive than Japanese imports. Pattern and skin quality. Domestic breeders often focus on bulk production rather than the selection of genetic lineages. As a result, domestic koi generally feature less defined color borders. Patterns that smudge or blur as they age are quite common in domestic koi, and they have less intense skin luster. So Japanese koi are more colorful than the domestic koi. As domestic koi grow, colors can diminish, and they don't look as beautiful as they once did. Body shape and final size. Authentic Japanese koi are bred in massive mud ponds to maximize structural mass, often growing to over 36 inches. Domestic koi are typically raised in smaller tank setups or commercial indoor facilities, causing them to mature with slimmer bodies and top out at around 15 to 24 inches. Peak coloration changes. Domestic koi often look incredibly vivid, bright, and appealing as small juveniles in a store tank. However, their colors tend to fade, stretch, or develop black speckles as they mature and grow, whereas Japanese koi are selectively bred to become more beautiful as they reach maturity. Domestic versus Japanese koi. All right, so domestic koi are bred locally, for example, U.S. farms. Japanese koi are bred exclusively on Japanese farms. Average cost, domestic koi are budget friendly. You can pay anywhere from $5 to $50 for young fish, whereas Japanese koi are premium. You can expect to pay $100 to thousands of dollars. Color, domestic koi density can fade or stretch out over time, and Japanese koi have deep, dense colors that hold composition. Pattern lines. On domestic koi, edges may blur or appear spotty, and on Japanese koi, they have sharp, distinct, and clean borders. Availability. Domestic koi are available at every local pet shop, fish stores, and garden centers. And Japanese koi would be sourced from specialized imported dealers. Like my store is going to sell Japanese koi in the future, in the very, very near future. So there's a lot of stores that have primarily only domestic koi, but there are some that specialize in Japanese koi. And I would like to introduce Japanese koi to all areas of the pond hobby so that more people have access to them. So when shopping for domestic fish, you will frequently see suppliers use the phrase bred from Japanese parents or Japanese bloodlines. While the original parent stock may have been high quality fish imported directly from Japan, the offspring are still classified strictly as domestic koi. Without the highly selective culling process, where Japanese master breeders sort through hundreds of thousands of fry to keep only a handful of exceptional specimens, the genetic quality drops rapidly within a single local generation. So those are what Japanese and domestic koi are. Both are beautiful in their own right. Both are unique in their own right. But one is bred to be beautiful for their entire life, and the other is bred for mass quantity, beautiful coloration when they're smaller, and a high production of them to supply fish stores, pet stores, and garden centers. All right, let's check the live comments. I've been so busy talking that I haven't really had time to check out the comments. So let's check them out really quickly. Let's see here. Why is this not working? Here we go. All right, so shout out to Jeff is in the house. Garcia Aquatics is in the house. Hey, Garcia, how are you? He says, Rodolfo wants to know if you are buying the fishes you ordered. Yes, I will. I'll talk about that later on. Are the butterfly koi better? They are better. They are very, very beautiful koi. It all boils down to personal opinion. Some people like them, some people don't. The Japanese, for example, don't really like them because they're naturalists, but they are good for the aquarium hobby. A lot of fish stores will sell them, and they sell a lot of them. All right, so right now I want to share a picture of Japanese koi, and then I want to share a picture of domestic koi to just kind of show off the differences that I mentioned to you earlier on. So our first picture on the screen right now is what Japanese koi look like. And keep in mind, these are tosai, which means juvenile koi. So even at a juvenile stage, the Japanese koi have a lot of color. Very, very beautiful. So in this picture, there's a couple high utsuris in there. There's a kai utsuri. There's a lemon harwoke. There's some kuhaku. There's a sanke. So those are some Japanese koi. And this is a bucket of Sanke Japanese koi. And you can see how beautiful these koi are. A lot of great coloration on them. Very, very beautiful fish. There's two kuhaku. There's a couple of Sanke in there, and I think there might be a Showa in there as well. But those are the Japanese koi, but look how different the domestic koi look. This is a orange and black koi, and most pet stores will sell them as orange and black koi. And that's how you know it's a domestic koi. because the Japanese koi have a scientific name like Kai Utsuri or Becco or something like that. So that's a orange and black domestic koi. Notice how it looks very similar to a goldfish. That's what I can say about domestic koi, is they have a very similar goldfish look. Here is a domestic Sanke. Now notice how the domestic Sanke looks completely different from a Japanese Sanke. It does not have as much black or as much color as a Japanese Sanke does. But some domestic koi, if you get Japanese fry, they're going to look a lot better. But domestic koi are good in their own way as well. So what a great way to kick off our episode. We started off by talking about what are Japanese and what are domestic koi. Right now, we're going to take our first little break. Right now, I want to tell you what's going down on this Saturday's Saturday with Alex Cardinale, our flagship program. This Saturday, we're going to have 4 rounds of Two Truths and a Lie, a round on 7-Eleven, a round on Florida, a round on Texas, and a round on California. So don't miss Saturday with Alex Cardinale every Saturday night, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, right here on YouTube channel, Alex Cardinale Entertainment. And here's what you can expect this Saturday on Saturday with Alex Cardinale. The fun continues this Saturday, July 11th, 2026. An all-new episode of Saturday with Alex Cardinale comes your way, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. The celebration of USA 250 continues because we're going to have 3 rounds of Two Truths and a Lie on 3 of the biggest states in the United States. Let's play Two Truths and a Lie on Florida, Texas, and California. Alex Cardinale will go bowling for the first time on camera in a year and a half. Plus, learn about the Goliath bird eater as our featured animal, the Matoro stingray, the Indodactyloid, and the panther grouper as Aqua Alex's featured fish. The monster of the deep will be the Dorado catfish from South America. And see if Alex can beat the Saturday buzzer on the history of ice cream in 5 minutes or less, Yankee Spotlight, MLB All-Star Game Preview, and so much more. Don't miss the next Saturday with Alex Cardinale, this Saturday, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, right here on my YouTube channel, Alex Cardinale Entertainment. All right now we're going to talk about the differences between Japanese koi and domestic koi. Now, the fundamental differences between Japanese koi and domestic koi stem from their breeding environment, strictness of selection, aka culling, color density, and overall cost. Now, as I said earlier in the show, both Japanese and domestic koi belong to the same species, which is known as a mer carp. Japanese koi are bred as highly curated living art, whereas domestic koi are bred for mass market availability and affordability. Core differences at a glance. Breeding location. Japanese koi are raised exclusively by master breeders in Japan, mostly in the Nagata prefecture. Domestic koi are bred locally in the buyer's home country, such as the United States or Malaysia. The selection process. Japanese breeders cull up to 99% of a spawn, keeping only the absolute highest quality fish. Domestic hatcheries typically keep a much higher percentage of the spawn, prioritizing volume over perfection. Sometimes they will even sell like the messed up koi on their website at a really low price. Color stability and borders. Japanese koi feature a deep, uniform color density and razor-sharp pattern edges. Domestic koi colors tend to fade, stretch, or develop messy black spots as the fish grows. Body shape and ultimate size. Japanese koi are bred in nutrient-rich mud ponds, allowing them to develop a thick, torpedo-shaped body that can easily exceed 3 feet. Domestic koi are usually raised in tanks or commercial ponds, resulting in a slimmer build and a maximum size of 15 to 24 inches. Longevity of appearance. Japanese koi are genetically engineered to peak in beauty as mature adults at 4 to 8 years old. Domestic koi often look best as small juveniles, but lose pattern definition as they age. Price point. Domestic koi are highly affordable, ranging from $5 to $50 for young fish. Authentic Japanese imports start at around $100 and can easily reach thousands of dollars depending on their lineage. Comparison of aesthetic standards. Domestic koi and Japanese koi. White skin. The domestic koi often develop a yellow or cream tint to their white koi, whereas a Japanese will stay bright, unblemished snow white. Red. In a domestic koi, a red color will appear translucent or orange red, and in a Japanese koi, they'll have a thick, liqueur-like crimson red. Black pigment. Sumi. Can look dusty gray or speckled in a domestic koi, but in a Japanese koi, it will be deep ink-like solid black blocks. Scale uniformity. In a domestic koi, minor alignment flaws are common, but in a Japanese koi, perfectly uniform, neat scale rows. And that is the difference between Japanese koi and domestic koi. All right, we're going to take a quick break from talking about Japanese koi and domestic koi. But right now, we're going to see my personal pond. It is now time for a Aqua Alex Pond update. So we'll start with a little bit of sad news on my pond. One of my aerators went out, and because the pond had less aeration than it should have in the summer heat, I lost some of my beautiful large koi. I lost my beautiful Showa and my beautiful Jinrin Kuhaku. It's sad, but it's unfortunate. But it's also a lesson for me because now I added on some more aeration, and I'm still waiting for my bigger pond to be put up. That'll be coming really soon. So I added aeration, and I got some new koi. I got some beautiful Japanese imports, baby Kuhaku and baby Sanke, and I also added some new tropical fish to my pond. Now I have to learn how to film better when it comes to filming pond. Well, here is my pond update. I apologize for the poor quality video. It's time for a pond update. This is my first update in a little while. As you can see, I added a 3-foot plant as a decoration for the top, and I added a little filter here for aeration because extra aeration in a pond is crucial. I lost some of my bigger koi due to low aeration, unfortunately, but I have some beautiful replacements, some beautiful Japanese koi. I've got some beautiful Sanke, some beautiful Kuhaku, and a beautiful Showa in there. I also have a beautiful Shabumpkin, and I added a couple of awesome tropicals, like a couple of Oscars and such. So here's an update on my pond. This is still the temporary pond. The bigger pond is here. I'm just waiting for someone to come and set it up, but it's going to be an awesome pond when it is set up. So enjoy this update. It's hard to see some of the fish at the moment, but some of the koi just swam by, and one of my big vanilla goldfish, I call them. Here's a beautiful Sanke koi. All right, so that was my pond update for this episode, and hopefully by the next episode of Talking Carp, I'll learn to film better because I have a really good camera, but I just can't figure out how to film a pond. But at least you were able to see some of my koi eating some frozen bloodworms. All right, we're having an awesome time thus far talking about Japanese and domestic koi. At this time, right now, I would like to welcome our sponsor of Talking Carp, Sensational Pool Systems, LLC. Now, they do manage pools here in South Florida. He does clean pools, so if you love going for a swim and you love and live in South Florida, he will take care of your pool. But he also now does koi ponds. He maintains koi ponds, so if you live in South Florida and need your koi pond maintained, be sure to check out Sensational Pool Systems, LLC.
Is your pool looking a little green around the gills? Or maybe your pond needs a little pick-me-up? Look no further than Sensational Pool Systems LLC, your local experts in pool and pond services. Based right here in sunny South Florida, we're a veteran-owned business committed to customer satisfaction above all else. From transforming your pool from green to pristine with our professional cleaning services starting at just $100 a month, to handling all your repair and installation needs, we've got you covered. Our comprehensive pond services include cleanings, maintenance, and more. Plus, we offer koi and goldfish upon request to bring your pond to life. We proudly serve West Palm Beach, Jupiter, Royal Palm, Riviera, Boynton Beach, Lake Worth, and beyond. Ready to dive into a sensational experience? Contact us today at 561-785-9561 or sensationalpoolsystemsllc@gmail.com. Your dream pool or pond is just a call away. Sensational Pool Systems LLC, making your water sensational.
All right, so be sure to give Sensational Pool Systems LLC a call. So earlier on in the show, our first featured koi was one of my favorites, the Tancho Showa. Now it's time for our second featured koi, and this koi has a very interesting name. I'm going to try and pronounce it, but 100% chance I'm going to mispronounce it. This koi is known as a Beni Matsukawabakke. Beni Matsukawabakke. Let's learn about the Beni Matsukawabakke koi right now.
The Beni Matsukawabakke is a rare, non-metallic Japanese koi variety famous for its unpredictable, fluid pattern shifts and its combination of a white base, black pine bark markings, and red accents. Classified under the Kawarimono category, the group for unique, non-classified koi, it acts as a literal living canvas that transforms throughout its entire life. The metamorphosis trait. Dynamic evolution. The defining trait of a Beni Matsukawabakke is its ability to radically change its appearance. The black markings, sumi, expand, contract, fade, or intensify continuously. Temperature sensitivity. The shifts are heavily driven by water temperature and the changing seasons. During cold winter months, the black pigments typically rush to the surface, making the fish appear significantly darker or almost completely black. In the warm summer, the black recedes, exposing a mostly white and red fish. The mythology connection. Historically, these rapid transformations baffled early 19th century Japanese breeders. They compared the fish to bakemono, shape-shifting monsters from Japanese mythology, which is how the fish earned the bakke, pronounced bake, suffix in its name. Visual anatomy. The shiroji is a non-metallic flat matte white canvas that acts as the background skin. The Matsukawabakke sumi, black. The black patterns run along the back and sides, naturally forming stepped edges that mirror the rough texture of pine tree bark, Matsukawa. The Beni, red. The prefix Beni translates to red. This variety overlays clusters or patches of bright crimson or orange-red on top of the fluctuating black and white base. Fully scaled. Unlike its closely related cousin, the scaleless Beni Kumonryu, a true Beni Matsukawabakke possesses a full jacket of regular scales.
I told you that was a interesting koi species, right? Well, our featured goldfish coming up a little bit later on tonight is a species that was created by the one and only Blackwater Creek Koi Farms. A little bit later on in the show, learn about the Sanke goldfish. But right now, we're heading back to Japanese and domestic koi, our main topic for this episode. And right now, we're going to talk about what makes Japanese koi more desirable. So, Japanese koi are more desirable because they represent a masterfully refined genetic lineage, resulting in vastly superior color density flawless body structure, and long-term pattern stability that domestic fish simply cannot match. They are valued as true living art rather than mass-produced pets. Generation-defining bloodlines. Japanese koi and Japanese master breeders have spent over 2 centuries curating strict genetic lineages. High-grade Japanese koi can be traced back through extensive family trees to legendary champion fish. These reliable bloodlines ensure that as the fish grows into an adult, its appearance becomes clearer and more dramatic rather than fading or muddying. Flawless body shape, conformation. In professional koi judging, body shape accounts for 50% of the fish's total score. Japanese koi are bred to develop a massive, powerful, torpedo-like frame conformation that grows beautifully and evenly up to 36 inches or more. Domestic koi usually have weaker genetics that cause them to look stubby, disproportionate, or overly slim as they size up. Deep lacquer-like color quality. The quality of the skin and pigment on a Japanese koi is unmatched. The red is incredibly thick and vibrant, looking like glossy layers of red lacquer paint. The white remains a blinding snowy white canvas without yellowing. The black is a deep, solid onyx that sits beneath or heavily wraps the body. Crisp pattern edges. When you look at a Japanese koi from above, the borders where colors meet are razor sharp. This distinct definition is highly prized. On a domestic koi, these edges often blur, bleed into one another, or look fuzzy, reducing the overall visual impact of the fish. The ruthless cooling process. A single female koi can lay up to 500,000 eggs. While a domestic farm might keep a large portion of these to sell for maximum volume, a Japanese breeder will take the time to sort through the fry multiple times. They discard or cull up to 99% of the spawn, keeping only a tiny fraction of fish that possess absolutely perfect proportions and flawless potential. Pristine mud pond environment. During the growing seasons, Japanese breeders release their fish into massive natural clay and mud ponds in the mountains. The mineral-rich mud and pristine natural water chemistry nourish the koi skin, maximize their color brilliance, and provide a rich natural diet that accelerates healthy skeletal growth. And that is why Japanese koi are more desirable than domestic koi. All right, right now it is time for my second pond tip. Earlier on in the show, we kicked off the show with me giving tips on why aeration is crucial in koi ponds. Well, right now it is time for my second pond tip. And now we're going to talk about keeping koi in tropical climates like South Florida or California, and keeping koi in seasonal climates where there are 4 seasons every year. Keeping koi in a tropical climate like Florida or Southeast Asia requires radically different management strategies than keeping them in a seasonal climate with distinct winters and summers. Because koi are temperate fish native to regions with cold winters, environmental differences heavily impact their metabolism, growth, and health. The core difference: metabolism and lifespan. Tropical climates. Koi have an uninterrupted year-round metabolism. Because the water never gets cold, they continuously eat, grow at an explosive rate, and can reach massive sizes very quickly. However, this non-stop metabolic burn can shorten their total lifespan. Seasonal climates. Koi experience a natural winter dormancy. When water temperatures drop below 50 degrees Fahrenheit, their metabolism shuts down and they stop eating for months. This fasting period mimics their natural wild cycle, allowing their bodies to rest, which promotes a longer lifespan and better long-term color health. Tropical climates and seasonal climate factors. Pond depth requirements. A tropical pond requires a depth of 4 to 6 feet to keep the bottom water cool and shielded from the blazing sun. A seasonal pond requires a depth of 4 to 5 plus feet to prevent the entire water column from freezing solid in winter. Feeding schedule. A tropical pond will have heavy feeding 365 days a year with high protein diets, and a seasonal pond will have high protein in summer, wheat germ in spring and fall, and zero food in the winter. Oxygen and filtration. A tropical pond needs critically high oxygen and filtration because warm water holds very little oxygen, requiring massive aeration. A seasonal pond needs a high oxygen and high filtration in the summer, but low in winter when cold water naturally holds maximum oxygen. Algae and weed pressure. In a tropical pond, it is constant year-round battle due to continuous sunlight and warm water. A seasonal pond has blooms that naturally die back during the autumn and winter months. Parasite and disease risk. Perpetual threats. Parasites never go dormant and reproduce rapidly in warm water, so in a tropical pond, parasites are always a risk. In a seasonal pond, parasites are a high risk during spring warm-up when fish immune systems wake up slower than parasites. Color stability. Warm water can cause red and black pigments to fade or blue, and cold winter water deepens and tightens colors, sharpening pattern edges. All right, key adjustments for tropical koi keeping. Install serious shade. Use pergolas, shade sails, or deep water designs to block out harsh sunlight. This lowers water temperatures and starves algae blooms. Oversize your aeration because warm water naturally loses its ability to hold dissolved oxygen. Running large bottom diffused aerators and surface waterfalls is mandatory to prevent suffocation. Aggressive biological filtration. Make sure you have really good filtration. And that is the difference between tropical climates and seasonal climates with koi. All right, right now it is time for our featured goldfish. And this is a creation from Blackwater Creek Koi Farms. Let's learn about the Sanke gold goldfish right now.
Sanke gold goldfish are a premium, highly sought-after variety of goldfish meticulously bred to mimic the striking look of elite Tancho Sanke koi. Developed in 2011 by Blackwater Creek Koi Farms after more than 10 years of selective breeding trials, they offer a compact alternative for fish hobbyists who love koi aesthetics but have limited space. Key characteristics. Appearance. They feature an elongated body with a clean, snowy white base, overlaid with large solid patches of vibrant red-orange and deep inky black spots. Size. They reach a maximum adult length of 10 to 12 inches, making them much smaller than standard 3-foot koi. Habitat flexibility. Unlike koi, which require massive setups, Sanke golds can comfortably thrive in indoor aquariums, small patio ponds, or backyard water features. Hardiness. They maintain the resilient, adaptable nature of single-tail goldfish, easily handling water temperature shifts. Availability. Due to the rigorous sorting process needed to isolate perfect tricolor patterns from fry, they are time-intensive to produce and sold in limited numbers.
All right, 2 weeks from this Saturday, it is going to be Sharky Saturday and the 2026 Shark Week Saturday with Alex Cardinale. Here's what you can look forward to in 2 weeks.
Dive into Sharky Saturday with Alex Cardinale. It's that time of year again. Things are about to get jawsome with the 2026 edition of Sharky Saturday. Join us on Saturday, July 25th, 2026 at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific for an unforgettable evening with Alex Cardinale. This year, Sharky Saturday is bigger and better than ever. Get ready for new and exciting ways to incorporate sharks into the show. Here's what's swimming your way. What's happening on Sharky Saturday? Animals of the world. Discover 4 unique shark species from around the globe. Aqua Alex featured fish. Dive into the world of freshwater and aquarium saltwater sharks. Monster of the deep. Explore the majestic whale shark. Hot take. Uncover the best shark movies and the top sharks to keep in the aquarium hobby. 3 rounds of 2 truths and a lie. Test your shark knowledge with facts about the great white shark, bull shark, and hammerhead shark. Saturday buzzer. Alex has 5 minutes to spill the tea on sharks. If he succeeds, viewers must share this episode and name their favorite shark. If he fails, Alex must pay the piper. And so much more. Mark your calendars and set your alarms for Saturday, July 25th, 2026 at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. Join us to celebrate all things shark on Sharky Saturday. Watch live on YouTube, www.youtube.com/Alex Cardinale 2026. Prepare for a fantastic night you won't want to miss.
Are you enjoying this episode of Talking Carp? Great. Do you want more Talking Carp episodes? Do you want more of the Ultimate Koi and Goldfish Show? Just go to www.youtube.com/at Alex Cardinale 2026 and go to my playlist section, select Talking Carp to learn more about koi and goldfish. It has been an incredible episode so far, and coming up in our main event, we're going to talk about the most popular koi varieties. But right now, let's talk about the pros and cons of Japanese koi. Japanese koi have a lot of pros, but they also have some cons. So let's talk about the pros and cons of Japanese koi right now. So the pros of Japanese koi. Japanese koi are bred to be high quality, are bred to be healthy, and live a long life. Japanese koi are bred to get up to 3 feet in length. So if you got a big pond and you want some massive fish, the Japanese koi is for you. Japanese koi have a lot of colors and they're very, very beautiful. So the pros for Japanese koi would be they're high quality, they've got awesome colors, they're a living art, they're very hardy, and they are beautiful looking. The cons of Japanese koi, they're very pricey. Japanese koi are going to break the bank, but it's because of their quality. And they can be kind of finicky at first. Those are the pros and cons of Japanese koi. And the pros and cons of domestic koi, let's talk about that right now. The pros of domestic koi are readily available. You'll find them anywhere that sells tropical fish. They are pretty hardy and they're easy to keep. They are affordable. And the cons of domestic koi, they lose their color. Their best color is when they're smaller, and they can not be as beautiful as Japanese koi. Those are the pros and cons of domestic koi. Well, coming up next is our main event. We're going to talk about the most popular koi varieties. But right now, let's take our final break. find out what's going down on my 33rd birthday Saturday with Alex Cardinale, and then we'll show the Saturday with Alex Cardinale commercial. We'll come back and talk about the most popular koi varieties.
Celebrate Alex Cardinale's 33rd birthday. Get ready for the ultimate birthday bash as Alex Cardinale turns 33 on Saturday, August 15th, 2026. This year, Alex's birthday falls on a Saturday, making it the perfect occasion for a special edition of Saturday with Alex Cardinale. Join the party live at 10 p.m. ET, 7 p.m. PT on youtube.com/Alex Cardinale 2026. What to expect? Hot take. Discover the 5 things Alex learned at 32 and the 5 things he's looking forward to this year. Birthday surprises. Unwrap the excitement with unexpected surprises, presents, and maybe even some special cameo appearances. Aqua Alex. Watch as Alex introduces some new aquatic friends to his collection. Saturday buzzer. Can Alex discuss the day's horoscopes in just 5 minutes? Tune in to find out if he can avoid paying the piper. Plus, enjoy all your favorite segments, including the Animal of the World, Featured Fish, and much more. Don't miss out. Mark your calendars for Saturday, August 15th, 2026, and be part of the celebration at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. Head over to youtube.com/Alex Cardinale 2026 to join the fun and celebrate with your host with the most, Alex Cardinale. See you there for an unforgettable birthday extravaganza. Tune in to Saturday with Alex Cardinale, your weekend entertainment and educational talk show, airing every Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, on YouTube channel Alex Cardinale Entertainment, youtube.com/Alex Cardinale 2026. Join us for an exciting weekend experience with Saturday with Alex Cardinale, where entertainment meets education in the most fun way possible. Since its debut in 2022, the show has been a hub of excitement, blending Alex's diverse passions into one spectacular program. What to expect? Tropical fish adventures. Dive deep into the world of aquatics with Aqua Alex Cardinale as your guide. Culinary delights. Get inspired in the kitchen with unique cooking tips and recipes from Chef Alex Cardinale. WWE Insights. Stay up to date with the latest happenings in the world of wrestling. Sports passion. Cheer along with Alex's favorite teams, the New York Yankees and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Mystery unraveled. Join Detective Alex Cardinale for thrilling investigations. Saturday buzzer. Alex has 5 minutes to discuss a topic. If he succeeds, viewers must do a favor for Alex. If he fails, he must pay the piper. Hot take. Alex's take on popular or controversial topics. And so much more. Special appearances by Chef Alex Cardinale, bringing you culinary wonders. Aqua Alex Cardinale, your aquatic expert. Detective Alex Cardinale, solving the mysteries that intrigue you. Get involved. Host your own segment. Have a passion or talent you want to share on the show? Email us at alexgoyankeescardinale19@gmail.com to become a part of the Saturday with Alex Cardinale family. Join us every Saturday for a blend of entertainment, learning, and fun with Alex Cardinale. Don't miss out on this vibrant weekend adventure every Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific.
All right, now you can see me. You can't see me. Just kidding. All right, anyway, it is now time for our main event. And right now on this amazing episode, we're going to talk about the popular koi varieties. Now, the most popular koi types are categorized as the Go Sanke, the Big Three, which dominate worldwide sales, competitions, and hobbyist collections. Beyond these elite three, a few distinct metallic single-colored and long-fin varieties are universally favored for their high visibility in outdoor ponds. The Kuhaku, the most popular and fundamental variety, featuring a solid snow-white body accented by striking patches of deep red. Sanke, also known as a tricolor, is a three-colored variety with bright white base, large patterns of red, and small, clean, stepping stone spots of black. The Showa is a dramatic three-colored variety with a heavy, wrapping black base that cuts through the lateral line. And then there is other globally popular varieties, including the Ogon, Orange Ogon, Yamabaki Ogon, and Platinum Ogon are solid, metallic, singly colored koi, most famously metallic gold, yellow, or platinum white. They are incredibly popular because of their high reflectivity. It makes them easily visible in deep or dark water. Then there is the Osagi, one of the oldest lineages, featuring a striking blue-gray net-like diamond scale pattern on its back, paired with a vibrant burnt orange or red belly and cheeks. The Utsuri Muno, Utsuri, a sleek two-tone variety featuring a solid black base wrapped by a single accent color, either white, which is Shiro Utsuri, yellow, Kai Utsuri, or red, Hai Utsuri. Butterfly koi, technically a structural variation rather than a color class. These are immensely popular for casual backyard ponds due to their long, flowing, majestic fins. And those are your popular koi varieties. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have had a blast tonight on Talkin Carp. It has been an incredible show. It all started with an epic new intro for Talkin Carp, and now it's going to conclude with an awesome outro. I want to thank you all for tuning into this episode of Talkin Carp. On our next episode, we're going to talk about koi and goldfish illnesses, how to prevent them, and how to treat them. So get ready to learn about koi and goldfish illnesses on our next episode of Talkin Carp. Happy pond keeping, happy koi keeping, and thank you for watching. Good night from Port St. Lucie, and happy koi keeping, everybody.
Thank you for watching the ultimate koi and goldfish show, Talkin Carp, hosted by Aqua Alex Cardinale. We hope you enjoyed the show and gained valuable insights into the fascinating world of koi and goldfish. Don't forget to share this episode on social media, and feel free to post any questions or comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Until next time, happy pond, koi, and goldfish keeping.
I, Alex Cardinale, would like to say thank you for watching this live stream on the Alex Cardinale Entertainment YouTube channel. I personally hope you enjoyed the live stream and the video. If you did enjoy the live stream, please smash that like button and please share this video on social media so that your friends and family can enjoy it as well. If you are a first-time viewer or new to my YouTube channel, I highly recommend hitting that subscribe button and getting the notification bell for notifications when I go live next or when I upload a video. I highly recommend subscribing so you're a member of the A.C.E community. Thank you for watching. A.C.E.